Hey mate, wake up because September is about to end. We're in with another Skull Sunday. I'm Ryan and we're playing Marvel's PS4 Spider-Man for a little bit of web slinging and relaxing. Don't tell Disney, but this is indeed the PS4 version of the game, the one that's still got Peter with the good face model and he looks older than 13. Uh-oh. I specifically bought a PS4 just for this game when it come out, and I did have a spectacular time. My only complaint about it is how only 2 side missions lead to boss fights. We get the Tombstone fight, and the Tombstone storyline's actually quite cool in this game. And then you get Taskmaster when you've done all his challenges, but other than those, it's like helping a fella catch his pigeons or do Harry Osborn's boring science. And today, if you've not noticed, we're only playing as the goddamn Scarlet Spider. I love this fella's classic stories, dude. And Ben's time as Spider-Man was sick. I love how he ends up shagging Uncle Ben's killer's daughter. That is the ultimate revenge. It's a wild idea, innit? Waking up one day to find out you're a clone. The memories of the life you had aren't even yours, and you're not even a real human being. But Ben seems to make the most of it, eventually. This bit was quite weird in the game. I was just out swimming, saw this little boat. Skip over to it. Go on, skip over to it. Ben, there you go. And on the boat, for some reason, was it not that boat? Land on the boat, Ben. Jesus Christ, the clone deterioration getting to his brain already. On the boat, there's this weird teddy bear. I'll show it in a sec. I think I try and sink the thing first. Yeah, there you go, look. Oh, next time, mate. But on the boat, there's this weird teddy bear. What the hell's that doing there? Ben Reilly and his brother Kane justified the Jackal's existence to me, because God knows he's not got any other worthwhile contributions to the lore. I just can't connect with the weirdo. He looks like he's in his 60s, but then in the Jackal costume he's shredded. And that mustache? What is he hiding? I would have liked to see what the spectacular cartoon would have done with Jackal. By season 2, he's took over the Connors lab, and he's already had a hand in creating Kraven and the Molten Man. Bet they'd have done some wild shit if they got more episodes. I did recently rewatch all the Spectacular, and my god dude, it's still sick. Easily the best Spidey cartoon. About 90% of it is pure perfection, but there is some bits that could have been better. Lion Man, Kraven, I know they were trying to do a bit of Ultimate, but it ended up being a bit shit. Their Venom was a pure villain who wanted the innocent people in Parker's life to get hurt, unlike 616 who only wants Spidey himself to suffer. They set up this mentor relationship with Peter and Norman in season 2. They hang out once, and then Norman's revealed to be the Goblin and dies. But dude, that Goblin reveal was brilliant. They found a way to make even long-time fans not know who the Goblin was. Genuinely, until the mask comes off, you're clueless. Tell you what, we've been going on about Spider-Man so much already, we should have a bit of music from him. This is the cool as hell theme from the best Spidey game ever, Neversoft's PS1. Absolute tune, mate. You know when Spidey turns up with that theme song on, your day is saved. September's been another fun one, hasn't it? We started with the Leapfrog. What a goddamn cool character he ended up being. It blows my mind just how much character development he got, and, spoiler alert, we haven't seen the last of that terrible Toad just yet. Leatherwing, the Pirate Batman. I made that a year ago and kept pushing it back whenever more interesting videos come along, so in a sense, I'm glad it's finally out there. Great story, great art, and isn't it cool how Batman slots into any time period? He can be a pirate, a knight, a vampire, and it always works. We had a channel request for the Eel. That was a ton of fun. I'd only ever seen him in the Daredevil issue with Mr. Fear, so I personally thought Eel was a DD villain, but that issue was like the only time he ever fought Matt. He was more of a Marvel all-rounder like Taskmaster, but dude, he was always ready to rumble, wasn't he? Legend. Rest in peace. I've been meaning to do more DC, and this month we also saw underrated Flash villains. I bloody love the Flash foes, they're my favourite DC baddies, so I did have fun diving into more that I hadn't yet learned of. But I still haven't forgiven Abracadabra for killing the boys in Underworld Unleashed. Goddamn Future Freak wishes he had Rainbow Raider's aura. And then, just this week, we started our Halloween specials quite early with spooky superheroes, and I've gotta say, DC defo won that. Ragman was so sick, dude, from costume to backstory. He was badass. And Blue Devil's story was just pure fun, mate. I did enjoy the Marvel side, but DC's were just spectacular. So, speaking of Halloween specials, in a few days, we're in October, and I don't know why, but this is my favourite time of year. I'm defo a winter fella more than a summer, but this time of year rules, mate. I love the early dark and the yellow leaves, and we're settling in for some spookiness on the channel, starting with our October tradition of the creepiest criminal in Gotham City, the Scarecrow. Crane is the best bad guy Batman has, but that won't be all we see of the Caped Crusader this month. Stay tuned. Oh, and speaking of tunes, here's a spooky jam from Castlevania, Dracula's Castle. Ooh. Oh dude, look, Ben is saving Peter from these thugs. In the end, it doesn't matter what one of them's real, because they both have the great power and the great responsibility. While it's crap that Ben is now a supervillain, I have been thinking about the raw potential of supervillains as protagonists. Imagine a book about, for example, Kraven the Hunter's day-to-day life. Every arc could have him fighting a new superhero, hunting them down to keep in shape. It literally writes itself, mate. People love the lunatics. Hear me out now. A Taskmaster solo of him taking on assignments worldwide. You could have him go up against other agents for hire like Bullseye, or have him dodge and shield or Silver Sable in the Wild Pack as he ruins governments in other countries for pay. I've said a few times how Scorpion has history as a private investigator, so what about a book about some hard-boiled detective Gargan stories? That'd be sick, dude. I think the companies are missing a trick not using their cool baddies as the stars. And while we're on the subject, how come Marvel haven't ever tried a real Earth 3 situation? I wanna see good versions of baddies and bad versions of goodies. Recently this month, I've been rereading this, my big book of Venom-relevant Amazing Spider-Mans. It starts with Peter and Dr. Connors returning from Battleworld, showcases a ton of black suit Spidey adventures, including the debut of the Rose, and it builds up to Peter betraying the suit and it going crawling to Eddie Brock. Even though we've read all the stories before, 80s Spider-Man was so good, dude. I also picked up this the last time I went to the comic shop. The first issue of The Death of Jean DeWolf. Incredible story. I really do need to do a video on that soon. One of the best stories Peter David ever wrote, and it's got Spidey teaming up with Daredevil. So we're on our way into October. The leaves are gonna go nice and orange. Gotta do an Arkham Knight playthrough before the end of the month. And of course we need a bit of Simpsons hit and run. So for our final song this month, let's have one from the best Simpson game, nay, the best licensed game ever made. From H&R's final level, this one's called Long Black Probes. Incredible month, fellas. All round bangers, no complaints. Let's get spooky for a bit. And then, going into the new year, we've got some background stuff that's ready to take charge. Thanks again for being a part of it.